here it is, the Kaiju Club's final eShop video of 2024. What a year it's been. So, what do we have here with this video? Well, essentially, this video is in 3 parts. The first part consists of some new additional deals on the eShop that have popped up that I figured was worth highlighting. The second part consists of some sweet eShop deals that I talked about earlier in the month that are separate from the Christmas sale, but they're still going on until the beginning of January. The final part of this video is the deals from the Christmas sale itself, which, if you watched the last video, then you don't necessarily need to watch that part unless you need a refresher or you just want to. I mean, that's cool. I just included it here for those who have yet to watch it or for viewers who are brand new to the channel. Anyway, let's get on to the deals. Have a great rest of your 2024, and I'll see you in a few days in 2025. Enter the Gungeon is part dungeon crawler, part bullet hell, and part roguelike game. It's a truly crazy game where you gotta dodge fire and bullets like you're in some bullet hell shoot 'em up game, while firing back and taking out enemies and scoring loot to unlock chests and upgrade your arsenal. You play in single player or opt for local co-op, which is a blast. It's a really addicting, fantastic game from Devolver Digital that is still one of the best games they have ever released, and it's one you can easily rack up over 100 hours in playtime in. Now typically when this game goes on sale, it gets marked down for around $5 or so, but this time you can get the game plus a spin-off for around the same price. The spin-off switches things up a bit by being a platformer and run-and-gun game, or as the developers put it, instead of being a dungeon crawler, it is a dungeon climber. You basically gotta shoot and survive as you climb upwards in dungeons. It's on sale for $4.99 for the first time ever until January 6th. Fight and Rage is a really fun beat-em-up game. It's inspired by those 90s arcade beat-em-up games, where players choose between 3 starting characters and then try to bring the pain to the mutants who have apparently enslaved humanity. Now what's noteworthy about this game is the fact that your actions in-game can affect how the story pans out. Choosing certain paths to the stage, attacking certain enemies, among other things, they all have a cause and effect, which can cause different effects in a stage or leading to different stages entirely. Beyond that, the gameplay features a neat combo system with the ability to pick up and use different weapons, and a parry system, which allows players to have the ability to counterattack enemies' attacks if they time it right. There's tons of unlockables therein, such as playable enemies, different costumes therein, various game modes and options, and the game even features co-op play support for up to 3 players. It's a pretty cool beat-em-up game with a surprising amount of content, depending on how deep you want to go with it. It's currently on sale for a brand new low price of $4.99 until January 7th. If you're looking for a good, and I mean really good, puzzle game for the Switch from the sales, then picking up Pure Tetris is a solid bet if you don't own it for the Switch yet. This game was literally one of my first Switch games ever, and it still receives play year after year because frankly, it's just a damn good puzzle game. There's plenty of modes for fans of Tetris, as there is for fans of Puyo, as well as gameplay modes that feature mass-ups that involves using Tetris and Pure gameplay styles at the same time. To top it off, there's plenty of multiplayer modes for both local and online play. This game is only $3.99. It's super cheap too. It's steal really. Even after all these years, still one of the best puzzle games on the Switch, so make sure to pick it up if you haven't done so yet. You will not regret it. The crazy little game, Brotato, might seem like nonsense at first glance, but trust me, it's an addiction waiting to happen. This top-down arena shooter has you playing as the humanoid potato, Brotato, who has crashed on an alien planet and must now fight off hordes of enemies. As you play, you'll gain EXP and level up in power, as well as choose from a variety of traits and items to create the Rambo-like potato killing machine of your dreams, or nightmares. It features tons of characters to choose from, as well as accessibility options to tweak the game's difficulty to your desire, along with an option for co-op play. The closest thing I can compare this game to on the Switch, or anywhere, is Vampire Survivors. If you've played and liked that game, then you'll like this game too. It's a pretty cheap game, made even cheaper now, as it's on sale for $3.49 for $3.49 for the first time ever until January 6th. Hey, we got a truly awesome deal alert here. Saints Row, the big purple package, is just $2.99 now. This bundle contains both Saints Row the 3rd and Saints Row 4, two great open world games, which are some of my personal favorite games of all time. And they have all the DLC included here in the bundle. I've bought these games many times over the years. I love playing them originally on the Xbox 360 and PS3 consoles. I got the updated versions on PS4 and Xbox, and even PC, so of course I had to pick these up for the Switch when they came available a few years back. I can safely say these ports are great, and they come with the online co-op multiplayer in Tak 2, which co-op play is the best way to play both games. $2.99 is basically nothing. That is an insane deal. Serious Sam Collection contains 3 games. Serious Sam HD The First Encounter, Serious Sam HD The Second Encounter, and Serious Sam 3 BFE. These games, like most of the games in the series, have a old school first-person shooter mentality. Basically, these are boomer shooters, like Doom and the Quake games, stuff like that. If you like that kind of stuff, then this collection is right up your alley. It's on sale for $4.49, which basically breaks down to just $1.50 per game. Tormented Souls is a game for players who long for the old school classic survival horror era. It's heavily inspired by those games in the genre from the late 90s and early 2000s. You gotta fight off the horrors, solve puzzles, and navigate through a dark mansion that seems ready to consume you around every turn. This is a damn good survival horror game. It's on sale for a brand new low price, just $4.99 via the latest eShop sale. It's rare to see a game from the eShop go so long between sales. Sometimes you'll see a year or two between sales, but 5 years? Yeah, 5 years is a long time, and that's exactly how long it's been since Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice has seen a discount, but it's finally back on sale, and for a brand new low price too. It's going for $8.99. It's dubbed as one of Switch's impossible ports. It's incredible how they made it work on the system. It's really amazing to see how this game runs on the Switch. That all said, what a game this is to experience. It's part psychological horror, part adventure game, part puzzle game in a way too, with a story that will just most certainly leave an impression on all your senses. This is an intense game, without a doubt. If you love bullet hell games, then you should consider picking up Danmaku Unlimited 3 for the Switch. This is a really good shoot-'em-up game for the Switch that will challenge your skills. The game's main gimmick is the Spirit Graze system that rewards those who get close to the enemy's bullets, so you can use powerful attacks as well as rack up a ton of points. If you're a bit of a newcomer to the genre, don't worry, there's multiple difficulty options here to suit your skill level, so even beginners can have some fun here. Danmaku Unlimited 3 is currently on sale, returning to its lowest price ever after 5 years. It's going for $2.49, which is the first time the game has ever been that cheap since 2019. So make sure to pick it up now when it's only a few bucks. Gleylancer is a horizontal shoot-'em-up that was originally only released for the Mega Drive in Japan and Korea back in 1992. It was a shame for us in the West because we didn't get it back then, and it was a really good shoot-'em-up. Luckily, fast forward to many years later, and you can now enjoy this hidden gem on the Switch. The main mechanic of Gleylancer is the gunner system. Basically, those satellites you can earn to surround your ship. Through power-ups, you can have 2 at a time, and you can cycle through 7 different firing formations of these satellites at any point. Additionally, you can set the speed of your ship, or change how fast your ship can move through 4 different levels at any given time. Between the strategic gameplay, nice use of graphics, and well-designed levels and challenges, Gleylancer is definitely one of the better retro shoot-'em-ups. The version on Switch includes English translations for the first time ever, as well as some quality of life features, like a rewind feature, save state support, and video options. It's currently on sale on the eShop for $3.49. New Star GP came out earlier this year for the Nintendo Switch. This is a fun, 3D, retro-style arcade racer, mixed with F1-style motorsport racing, essentially acting like a spiritual successor to virtual racing. Beyond the arcade racing, you'll need to manage your pit strategy, as well as choose what adjustments are made to your race car during these pit stops to hopefully give you an advantage in response to what's happening on the track, like the weather changing or the addition of fuel to keep your car going in a race. It's nothing too complex in terms of strategy, but it adds a nice bit of depth to the arcade-style gameplay. The racing itself is straightforward, so if you've played other retro-style 3D racers, then you'll be able to easily pick up on the gameplay and enjoy this one. Now, I've recommended this in the past at full price. It's well worth it. But for the holidays, this baby is on sale for just $4.99. It's never been this cheap before, ever. And at that price, I consider this one to be a steal if you like arcade racing. I think it's a must-get. Dicey Dungeons is one of my favorite indie games on the Switch. It combines deck building, RPG, and roguelike mechanics with dice. A lot of the mechanics center around the roll of the dice, like activating your card's abilities in order to attack monsters. You'll get to play as one of the many different dice characters as you fight monsters, build your deck, get loot, level up, and hopefully survive the many challenges. Speaking of challenges, there's a ton to tackle through the various campaigns, each one providing their own spin and unique twist on the gameplay. The gameplay ends up being pretty addicting as you try to test your brain power as well as your luck. Dicey Dungeons is back on sale, finally at its all-time low price of just $1.99 again. That is one heck of a deal. The Switch version includes the bonus campaigns too, like the Halloween special, so there's plenty of content here for cheap. Tens is another dice game, but this one combines Sudoku-like number puzzles with the gameplay of falling block puzzle games, and this one is really addicting as well. In this game, your goal is simple: to clear dice off the board by making rows of tens. There's plenty of challenges to face in the good-sized single-player adventure mode, but in addition to that, there is an endless mode and even a local multiplayer mode to play through as well. As you play, you'll get to unlock dice skins and new characters to play as. For just $1.99, this is another one that is well worth it for those who love puzzle games. It'll hook you from the get-go. Magical Drop 6 is the latest game in the classic puzzle game series, and it is an excellent entry. The core gameplay is still the same. Players will need to clear the stack of drops that slowly descend downward by matching same colored drops. Players can gather the drops, often several at a time, and then shoot them upwards towards the stack to clear them for points. It's a simple to understand puzzle game, though you'll need to have quick reflexes and thinking at the higher difficulty levels of the game. The game features a new HD art style, 15 playable characters to choose from, each with their own story to play through, local and online multiplayer modes, 6 solo game modes, and lots of other goodies and challenges to complete. This is a solid release in the series, with a nice amount of content to boot, more so than any of the past releases in the series. Best of all, this is just $2.99 now for the holiday. It's never been that cheap before in the eShop. It's a no-brainer for those who love puzzle games. I highly recommend this one. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is the latest game in the Wonder Boy series, and it's been developed with input from the creator of the Wonder Boy series. The game continues with the Metroidvania style set by later games in the series, and expands upon it with the biggest adventure yet. There's loads more to explore, more powers to obtain, while improving upon the classic gameplay that this series is loved for. That said, this is also one beautiful game too. It's so very well animated, and everything is so lively, and the music is amazing. I dare say, this game is a masterpiece. You must play it if you haven't yet. This game is a gem. It's on sale for $9.99 on the eShop for the holidays. One of my favorite games for the Switch is Monster Hunter Rise. I've raved about this game over the years. You've heard me say it time and time again. It's one awesome action RPG and multiplayer game. In Rise, the monster hunting is as fun as it ever was, with much faster gameplay, as well as having the addition of the new rideable Palamutes to make for faster movement too. There's tons of weapons to use and master, and loads and loads of equipment and customization options that you can obtain from bashing the monster's brains in. Yes, there's a ton of content to tackle, so many missions and events, and between all the free updates and the Sunbreak DLC expansion, this is one massive game, and you'll find hundreds of hours of enjoyment in it. The online multiplayer is fantastic, it is pretty flawless on the Switch, and it's easy to jump in and out of lobbies and hunts as you wish. You can get the complete experience, Monster Hunter Rise, and the massive Sunbreak expansion for just $14.99 now. That's a brand new low price for it on the eShop. If you need the DLC expansion by itself, it's on sale for just $9.99 as well. During the 2024 Game Awards, Capcom announced that they were making a sequel to Okami, the legendary game. I never thought I'd see the day, but apparently, dreams do come true. To celebrate, Capcom has discounted the HD version of the game on the eShop to just $4.99. It's never been that cheap before, ever, and it's a steal at that price. If you like the Legend of Zelda games, then you'll love this one. The gameplay is very similar to those style of games. The HD version on Switch looks great, it's gorgeous, you can play in both widescreen and 4:3 aspect ratio, and the game even supports motion controls, similar to the famous Wii version, as well as it has touchscreen support for those who want direct control over the brush controls. Of course, you don't need to use any of those control schemes if you just want to use traditional controls. It has that too. This is a great game, it's a classic, a legendary gem. If you've never experienced it before, then do yourself a favor and pick this up. $5 for this game is an incredible deal. While I'm talking about a Capcom game, let's talk about a few more on sale. Dragon's Dogma, while it is an older game, it is still one of the best action RPGs you can get on the system, with tons of content and quests to discover, and the ability to create and customize your characters, as well as recruit other players' created characters throughout your journey. This is a fun game to revisit and play through multiple times. The Dark Arisen version on Switch adds even more content and challenges to face off against, and again, it's only $4.99 via the sale. Since a new Onimusha game was just announced last night, you may be curious about checking out the other games. Well, the very first one is on Switch, and Capcom did a good job bringing the classic game to the platform. This is an enhanced release. All the visuals have been upscaled, it's all HDified now, and in addition to that, the controls have been improved. And there's even new additions, like a new soundtrack included too. I've recently checked this one out, and you know what? For being an early PS2 and Xbox release, the game and gameplay still holds up, and the enhanced release helps a lot with that. It's on sale for $9.99 until January 1st. Well, I'm sorry to say, I have another delisting alert. Yes, December has been a weird month for games being delisted. Anyway, Motorsport Games is losing the Nascar license, so all the games and related DLC published by them on all the platforms will be delisted when December ends. Of course, just like the prior delisted games, you'll still be able to download and play them and play those games in the future, as long as you've bought them at some point prior to the delisting. On Switch, Motorsport Games has published two games, NASCAR Heat Ultimate Edition Plus and the newer NASCAR Rivals. And they're all on sale for huge discounts for the very last time ever. NASCAR Heat Ultimate Edition Plus is on sale for just $2.49, and NASCAR Rivals is on sale for $3.49. At the very least, I gotta give them huge kudos for pricing them super cheap prior to the delisting. Now, I don't know too much about these games, and I haven't personally played them myself, but I figured I'd pass the info along in case there's somebody out there that might be interested in these games, or might have them on their wish list. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection is a dream come true for me and many fighting game fans. It's got X-Men, Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, all in one collection. That alone, those games sold me on this collection. These are fantastic arcade fighting games, and to have them all in one spot is amazing. And to top it off, they even threw in another game, the beat 'em up game, The Punisher. that one is a blast to play too. The collection features online play for all the games with a rollback netcode, and of course there's lots of customization options and settings that you can use to adjust the games to your desire, and there's lots of museum gallery stuffs too. But I want to be clear, the fighting games, they are the star here, and I consider this a must-get collection if you love the genre. Now the Spelunky games are platformers that definitely require some dexterity. In each game, players control a spelunker who explores caves that are procedurally generated. Getting and securing that treasure is addicting, but there's plenty of risk and danger to it. It can be tough as nails, as death is around every corner, from pitfalls to monsters and various traps. Now what really makes these games great is the multiplayer. Yes, single player is good and all, but being able to go through the mines with some friends is fantastic, especially when things get tense and chaotic. Both games, the first game and the sequel, are very cheap right now, going for brand new low prices via the latest sale. The first one is on sale for just $3.99, while the second one is on sale for $7.99. Save Me Mr. Tako has you playing as Tako, the octopus set out to resolve the conflicts between humans and his octopus kind. He'll need to solve puzzles, spit ink, and explore the world in order to succeed in his quest. Now at first glance, this may look like some simple Game Boy-esque style game, but trust me, this game is much bigger than most of those 8-bit classics. There's over 50 levels to explore, a ton of abilities to use, and plenty of bonus stuff to tackle, like side quests, minigames, and puzzles. It's safe to say you have plenty to do as the octopus hero. The Definitive Edition here on Switch features a rebalanced game difficulty, a hint system, and more quality of life improvements. And it's back on sale for $3.74, which is the first time this game has been this cheap on the eShop in over a year. Indivisible is a pretty unique game. It's part action RPG and part platformer game that features mechanics inspired by the Valkyrie Profile series from Square Enix. The lead character, Anya, is able to recruit and absorb companions, and use them both in battle and outside of battle. Her companions can be assigned to a button, and pressing the assigned button can allow the character to perform actions in battle and also aid Anya while traversing outside of battle. In battle, the order of the buttons you press can affect attack combos, as well as how long you hold a button can modify their attacks or moves. It might sound a little bit confusing, but trust me, it's pretty intuitive after a couple battles. That all aside, the game is pretty gorgeous, I love the 2D art style, and it's a pretty good game overall. It reminds me of some of the older days of Japanese RPGs. This game is only $4.49 now via the holiday sales, which is insanely cheap for a quality RPG. It's never been that cheap before in the eShop, so to get this for less than $5, yeah, this is another damn good deal. Jurassic Park Classics Game Collection is a weird one. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of these classic games, though I know some of my viewers have had their eye on this collection, so I figured I'd give it a shout out since it's on sale. For the holidays, it's on sale on the eShop at a brand new low price of just $14.99 now. The games in this collection include the NES edition of Jurassic Park, plus the Game Boy entry, the Super NES and Sega Genesis entries, Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues for the Super Nintendo, Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues for the Game Boy, and Jurassic Park Rampage Edition for the Sega Genesis. Again, it's just $14.99, 50% off for the first time ever until January 6th. If you want a good shoot 'em up on Switch, then you definitely need to check out Crimzon Clover World Explosion. It's one of the very best for the system. The gameplay is very similar to Taito's classic race series of shoot 'em ups. It's a vertical shooter that features a similar lock-on system. You're able to lock onto enemies by holding down the lock-on button, and when you let go of that button, you're able to launch missiles that home in on your enemies. You also have the standard shot button, and being a bullet hell game, you're able to do a lot of damage very quickly to enemies with these attacks at your disposal. That said, the game has a few more tricks that the player can use. As you defeat enemies, you're able to fill up a bomb gauge, and when it's filled part way, pressing the bomb button can activate a screen-clearing bomb that can not only damage all the enemies on screen, but also momentarily clears all the bullets. The more you use the bomb button, the more the gauge must be filled in order to activate a bomb. Now if you're able to fill the gauge all the way, when you press the bomb button, you can activate a thing called Break Mode, which will grant you temporary invincibility, as well as increased firepower, and the ability for you to score a ton more points with the increased amount of stars that drop from enemies. If you fill the gauge twice over, you can activate a Break Mode within Break Mode for even more opportunities to score massive amounts of points. It's a glorious thing. This is an insanely addicting game, trying to master when to use your gauge for bombs, or to save up that gauge for break modes, basically choosing between survival and high scores. It's a great game, and it's back on sale at its all-time low price of $11.99. Trust me, it's worth it. The shoot-em-ups Over Horizon and the related Steel Empire series are some neat hidden gem horizontal shoot-em-ups. Unlike most shoot-em-ups, typically being of a space theme and all, these games have a steampunk theme and aesthetic to them. Last year, they arrived for the Switch via a mini collection, simply called Over Horizon Steel Empire. The first game in the collection, Over Horizon, was originally made for the Famicom, in addition to a small release in PAL territories in Germany. This one plays similar to the Gradius and the R-Type games. You're able to shoot forwards or backwards depending on what button you press. You can also customize your ship through an edit mode, where you can modify the ship's weapons, and it stands out as a unique 8-bit game because of it. Steel Empire, for the Sega Genesis, continues with the steampunk themes, and you're still able to shoot from both directions, but now weapons can be leveled up to a level of 20, far more than a typical shoot-em-up allows you to. This one is also a lot of fun. The third game in the collection is a remake of the Sega Genesis game that was originally made for the Game Boy Advance, and this has some changes to the game, including some changes with the bosses. The Over Horizon Steel Empire Collection is on sale for the first time ever since its pre-sale. It's down to a new low price of $11.39. It might be a small collection compared to others out there, but these 3 games have a lot of replay value, so you'll get your money's worth. Look, making a spiritual successor to the CDI Zelda games sounds as ludicrous as it can be, but someone decided to just do that, and surprisingly, it's actually a good game. The gameplay in this one consists of being a 2D action platformer, kinda like the Monster Boy games, or even the Shantae games, with lots of cutscenes that mimic the style of those infamous CDI Zelda games, and it can be quite goofy. The goofiness and the humor is actually one of the game's strongest aspects. It knows what it is, embraces it fully, the wackiness of it all. If you want a game to laugh your butt off for a bit, and don't mind a little bit of jank, then Arzette is good fun. It's on sale for 50% off, which is the first time it's ever been that cheap on the eShop. Nintendo has some of their first-party games on sale as well for the holiday. The 2 Mario games, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, is on sale for $39.99, as is Super Mario Odyssey. These are fantastic platformers, as I'm sure you've already heard by now. Odyssey goes on sale quite a bit, but the sale for 3D World is much rarer on the eShop, so keep that in mind. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is on sale for the first time ever on the eShop for $41.99. This is a fantastic platformer too, Kirby's first 3D platformer, and it just might be my favorite Kirby game on the Switch. Animal Crossing New Horizons finally returns with a sale price on the eShop for $41.99. The expansion DLC, Happy Home Paradise, is on sale for $17.49 once again. It's great, and consider this to be a must-have if you have New Horizons. But if you have the expanded NSO service, then you already get this as part of your subscription. While the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game is not on sale on the eShop currently, the Booster Pass for it is on sale. This adds 48 tracks or so, basically a ton of tracks, and it's on sale for the first time ever. That's $17.49. I consider this one to be a must-get as well, if you have the game, but like Happy Home Paradise, this is included with the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack service, so keep that in mind if you have that already. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD is on sale for $41.99. This is a HD-fied version, or a bit of a remaster, of the Wii game, and introduces some changes, namely controller changes, to support a traditional controller. Pretty much, you don't need to use motion controls if you don't want to. It also includes some other quality of life improvements. WarioWare Move It is the second WarioWare game made for the Switch, and it gets its first sale ever on the eShop of 30% off, knocking it down to $34.99. Unlike the first game, this one does require motion controls. Still, it's a fun game, as most WarioWare games are. Finally, Nintendo Switch Sports is on sale again for $27.99. Again, just like WarioWare, it is a motion controls heavy game. The game list includes 8 games, like bowling, and golf and basketball, which the last 2 were added via free updates to the game. When it comes to big sales, you best believe Sega and Atlus are going to be there and have a ton of their games on sale. Here's the highlights. Yakuza Kiwami, the first Yakuza game and Like a Dragon game to come out for the Switch, gets its first sale on the eShop. It's $14.99 now, $5 off. I've played this game like twice over on other platforms, and I'm sure that's the case for many others, but hey, a Yakuza game is finally on the Switch. That simply means it's just a good excuse to play it all over again. Yeah, it's pretty simple like that. All the M2 developed Sega Ages games are on sale again for $2.39. Highlights include the JRPG classic Phantasy Star, the first 2 Sonic games, Outrun, and Virtua Racing, with its 8-player multiplayer option. These games are all excellent ports, and they come with a bevy of features that make these versions the best way to play. The Persona JRPGs, some of the best JRPGs you can ever play, are on sale for pretty cheap. Persona 3 and 4 are on sale for $11.99 each. A bundle of the 2 can be picked up for less than $20 for even more savings. Persona 5 Royal is on sale for $23.99 on the eShop, but just like for Black Friday, a lot of the online retailers have the digital version for the Switch on sale for $14.99, so make sure to check that out first. If you're looking for something more action-oriented, then check out Persona 5 Arena Ultra Max. Their fantastic fighting game from Arc System Works. Features characters from Persona 4 and 3, and it's back on sale for $8.99. Square Enix has a bunch of games on sale for the holiday, with a few noteworthy games going for brand new low prices. Octopath Traveler is on sale for just $23.99, that's a brand new low price for that, and its strong sequel, Octopath Traveler 2, is on sale for a brand new low price of $29.99. For less than the price of a brand new game, you can get 2 fantastic JRPGs featuring that great HD 2D engine. Romancing Saga 2, Revenge of the Seven, which is a full-on 3D remake of the Super Nintendo game, is on sale for a brand new low price of $37.99. This game literally just came out in October. It's crazy that it's already on sale. There's a demo on the eShop, and from what I played of it, I really liked it. The Final Fantasy 1-6 Pixel Remastered Collection is back on sale in the eShop for $56.24. The first 2 Final Fantasy games are on sale for $8.99 each, and games 3 through 6 are on sale for $13.39 each. Finally, Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers Edition, is back at $7.99. I love Chrono Cross, and I feel like this version is a great way to experience the game now, especially since they fixed all the issues that this version had when it first came out. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess, but now it's rock solid. $8 is a good deal to experience this classic in a much better light. Konami has a number of collections on sale on the eShop currently. The Castlevania Anniversary Collection includes a ton of 8-bit and 16-bit Castlevania games, including the 3 NES games, Super Castlevania 4, Castlevania Bloodlines, the first 2 Game Boy games, and Kid Dracula, a spin-off. It even includes the Japanese versions of these games. It's on sale for $3.99. The Castlevania Advance Collection includes the 3 excellent Game Boy Advance games, plus Dracula X for the Super Nintendo. The collection includes some quality of life features, a gallery mode, and even has the option to choose between the American, European, and Japanese versions of each game. This is on sale in the eShop at a brand new low price of $9.99. The Castlevania Dominus Collection, the newest collection of the 3, includes the 3 DS games, plus a redesigned version of the arcade game. The games have been updated for play on a single screen, quality of life features have been added, and much more. The Castlevania Dominus Collection is on sale for the first time ever at $19.99. If you aim to pick up all 3 collections, then consider picking up the Castlevania Collections Bundle, which allows you to save even more considering it's on sale for $31.89. The Contra Anniversary Collection has just about every 8-bit and 16-bit game in the series too, plus the 2 arcade games. It has the Japanese versions of some of the games included as well. This is on sale for $3.99. The Arcade Classics Anniversary Collection contains the arcade games Scramble, Twin Bee, Nemesis, also known as Gradius, Salamander, also known as Life Force, Typhoon, also known as Ajax, Vulcan Venture, also known as Gradius 2, Thundercross, and Haunted Castle. It's pretty much a shoot-'em-up collection plus Haunted Castle, so if you don't like shoot-'em-ups, then you'll probably not like this, but if you do, then it's a steal at $3.99. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, includes both Turtles arcade games, the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive games, and it even has the Game Boy games included too. In addition, there's online multiplayer for some of the games, as well as local multiplayer, and it even has the Japanese versions of the games included. It's $15.99 via its latest eShop sale. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge Ultimate Edition includes the wonderful beat-em-up game, plus the DLCs, Dimension Shell Shock and Radical Reptiles, and these add new characters and content to an already excellent game. If you have yet to pick up the game on Switch, then getting the Ultimate Edition is the way to go. It's on sale for $23.09. Koei Tecmo pretty much has most of their games on the eShop for sale, but for time's sakes, I'm just going to point out a few highlights that you should be aware of. The Atelier series, the JRPG series that features a heavy emphasis on alchemy and crafting in their games, has had one heck of a run on Switch, where pretty much every game has been a solid entry, and some games, like the Atelier Ryza games, are considered to be some of the very best RPGs you can get on the system. Speaking of the Ryza series, all 3 games are on sale for brand new low prices on the eShop. Ryza 1 is on sale for $17.99, while the sequel is on sale for $20.99. The 3rd game is on sale for $32.99. If you've ever been curious about checking out the series, then you should start out with the Ryza games. They're some of the best games in the entire series. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is on sale for a brand new low price in the eShop as well. It's going for $23.99. This contains remastered versions of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, as well as most of the DLC that originally came out for the games. EA Games has some of their games on sale for the holiday, including some solid bets for the Switch that can be had for relatively cheap. The racing game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, is on sale for a brand new low price of $6.79 in the eShop. The Remastered Edition looks pretty good on Switch. It has all the DLC too, as well as cross-platform multiplayer. I love it when games have that. Burnout Paradise Remastered is a solid bet too. It has all the DLC that came out for that, and it looks fantastic on the Switch, running at 60 FPS. It's crazy and chaotic, but that's Burnout in a nutshell. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville Complete Edition is a third-person shooter where players control the plants or zombies in all-out crazy warfare, and is back on sale at its all-time low price of $5.99. It's actually been almost a year since it's been that low in price. It has a ton of content for single player and multiplayer, and as you'd probably guess, it also includes all the DLC ever released for it. If you like shooters, then I got you covered for the next round of games. Doom plus Doom 2 is the updated release that replaces the original Switch versions. This includes a ton of additions and improvements, as well as support for cross-platform multiplayer for up to 16 players, and it also has built-in mod support. This is on sale for $3.99. The Quake plus Quake 2 Enhanced Bundle contains both Quake games, fully enhanced and revamped for consoles, with the original and new expansion packs included, new modes, online multiplayer with cross-play support, and lots more. This is on sale for $3.99 too. The Turok Trilogy Bundle, which includes the first 3 Turok games that originally came out for the N64 and PC back in the day, is on sale for $17.99. This is a brand new low price for it on the eShop. These are great remasters, they look great, are still retaining the classic style, and they play even better now than ever since they fully support modern controls. Plus you get the games for less than what the third game itself is going for on the sale. You can't beat that, the bundle is a heck of a deal. Dying Light is a fantastic zombie survival game that has you fighting off enemies while performing parkour in order to survive and complete your missions. The Definitive Edition, which includes all the DLC ever released for the game, all the content, expansions, everything. In addition, it has gyro aiming support, as well as local multiplayer and online multiplayer support too. It runs well on the system, has all the content, and is a terrific value at its brand new low price of $7.49 via the holiday sale. The Zombie Army games, a spin-off of the Sniper Elite series, are some pretty good horror-themed games. They have you working solo, or with others, blasting away the undead army and demons in some over-the-top mayhem. Oh, and yes, these games have the classic X-ray that the Sniper Elite series is known for too. Zombie Army Trilogy is on sale for a new low price of $5.24, and Zombie Army 4, which is one of my favorite shooters on the system, is on sale for a new low price of $9.99. Zombie Army 4 for Switch even includes the first season expansion pass for free, which adds 3 additional levels to the game. Don't sleep on these two if you're looking for some good shooters for the Switch. These are some of the better ones, and they are a steal at those prices. The Portal games are classics. They have received near universal praise for their gameplay. The Portal Companion Collection on Switch is an excellent way to enjoy these games on console. They look great on the system, they control great, and the collection even has the online co-op of Portal 2 included. If you like puzzle games, then this is a no-brainer at just $4.99. If you like Pokemon or monster collecting and battling and need something to hold you out until the next Pokemon game comes out, then consider picking up the Nexomon plus Nexomon Extinction Complete Collection. This includes the 2 Nexomon games that feature gameplay that is very similar to the Pokemon games, and they are solid games. For less than $9, you'll get 2 very fun games. Axiom Verge is a classic indie Metroidvania featuring sci-fi horror vibes and very good gameplay. It's pretty awesome, and the sequel is solid too. If you've been wanting to pick up the games for the Switch, well, now is a good time. The bundle that contains both games is on sale for a brand new low price of $7.99. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is a pretty awesome collection of action platformers. This collection includes the game that started it all, and it also has Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows, it has Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment, and it has Shovel Knight King of Cards. In addition, there's a 5th game included called Shovel Knight Showdown, where you can control your favorite knight and face off against other players through local play or go through story mode. This bundle includes additions such as a challenge mode, the ability to body swap between the knights, co-op play, and more. It's on sale for $19.99 until January 6th. The S-Tribute series, or ports of Sega Saturn games, which themselves mostly consist of arcade-style games. Puzzle Bobble 2X / Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition and Puzzle Bobble 3 / Bust a Move 3 S-Tribute is a collection that contains both ports of the classic arcade puzzle games, with new modes and options. It's a great little collection, and it's on sale for a brand new low price of $7.94. Atari Flashback Classics has 150 games in all. It has a ton of Atari 2600 games, some 5200 games, and a number of arcade games. with online leaderboard support and achievements to earn. It's a good pickup for those who really love the old school, and I mean the old school, video games. It's on sale for a new low price of $13.99 via the holiday sale. The Namco Museum Archives Volume 1 collection includes 10 Namco NES and Famicom classics, plus a brand new game. It has Dig Dug, Dragon Buster, Dragon Spirit, Galaxian, Mappy, Pac-Man, Sky Kid, Splatterhouse, Renpaku Graffiti, The Tower Duraga, and Xevious. It also has Pac-Man Championship Edition, an 8-bit version of the popular game made to work with the original NES hardware in mind. It's a solid 8-bit collection for $4.99. The Double Dragon and Kunio-kun Retro Brawler Bundle is a collection of 18 NES and Famicom games for the Switch. This has all 3 Double Dragon games, Renegade, Super Dodgeball, Crossing the Boys, Street Challenge, and the legendary River City Ransom. It also has a bunch of classic games that were previously unreleased in America, and they've all been officially translated into English for the first time ever. You get access to the original versions of these games, plus a brand new, quality up version, basically a newer version that has improved in-game mechanics and commands, and in some cases, improved performance. This is another solid 8-bit collection for the Switch, and a darn good deal at $9.19. Digital Eclipse pretty much has their entire catalog of games on sale at this time. Tetris Forever, which just came out, includes over 15 classic Tetris games, plus an interactive documentary timeline, a standard feature in Digital Eclipse's Gold Master Series, which was something that was first introduced in the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection. This is on sale for the first time ever on the eShop for $27.99. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, a game that literally just came out this month, is on sale for the first time ever at $27.99. This game aims to bring the franchise back to the world of beat-em-ups, with gameplay inspired by TMNT Shredder's Revenge. What's noteworthy at some points is the game breaks up the traditional beat-em-up gameplay by adding in shooting and driving sequences. Hibareke, otherwise known as Euphoria the Saga, is an NES game from legendary developer Sunsoft. In this game you control a penguin-like creature named Hebe who must gather his friends and use their powers to save the world from an alien invasion. It's a little bit of a Metroidvania-style game, but overall, it's a pretty fun 8-bit game, and the gameplay actually holds up quite well. The Hibareki Enjoy Edition includes the classic Famicom version of the game, with a new English translation, along with a bunch of modern features, like a new speedrun mode and online leaderboards. It's a must-get in my view for NES fans, or fans of the original game. It's on sale for $6.99 via the latest eShop sale. Earlier this year, Hibareke got a sequel of all things, in the form of Euphoria 2 The Saga. Featuring graphics that have a storybook art style, the gameplay finds players controlling Hebe again while trying to find his friends to team up with them to again, well, save the day. The gameplay expands a bit on the formula, thankfully, with courses that change each time you play. It's a pretty fun and easygoing game that reminds me a bit of Nintendo platformers such as Yoshi's Woolly World. It's on sale for a brand new low price of $12.49. The retro Mystery Club games pretty much play like the NES Famicom Detective Club games, and honestly, I think that's kinda cool. Retro style aside, these are some solid mystery games set in 1980s Japan with a number of episodes to complete. Considering they're now being sold for just $1.99 each for the first time ever, I say if you love mystery or adventure games, then consider picking these up. For a couple bucks, you can't go wrong. Retro Ravengers is by the same developers of the Mystery Club games, and this is a really solid 16-bit style action platformer. You gotta master each of the characters' different powers, as well as learn to adapt to the ever-changing mechanics throughout the game. It may be retro in style, but the game is anything but plain. For $1.99 for the first time ever, I think this one is a no-brainer if you like retro-style games. Streets of Rage 4 from Dotemu is one of the best beat-em-up games for the system. The gameplay is a lot of fun, there's a number of characters to use and unlock, with each one feeling unique, and the game has a lot of replay value. Absolutely a solid game without a doubt, and it's on sale for a brand new low price of $9.99 on the eShop for the holiday season. 30XX is a roguelike action platformer that has gameplay inspired by the Mega Man games, particularly the ZX series, and it's absolutely awesome. The gameplay is good, it's filled with lots of action and challenge, and it's noteworthy for the fact that every time you play, the levels, items, and powers will change throughout, so you get a new experience every time you play. Plus, it has multiplayer, both local and online. It's on sale at the lowest price it's ever been, at $9.99 until January 2nd. Hades is a fantastic roguelike dungeon crawler for the Nintendo Switch. The gameplay is top-notch, with fast and fluid combat, and a wide variety of weapons, abilities, and upgrades to obtain and experiment with. It's an addicting game to play, with loads of secrets to uncover, as well as challenges to complete. Also, it's a beautiful looking game too. It's largely considered by many to be one of the best roguelikes for the system. It's back on sale on the eShop at $9.99 until January 9th. Might and Magic: Class of Heroes is a puzzle role-playing game that has gameplay that is similar in concept to games like Puzzle Quest and Critter Crunch, while also using elements of turn-based games. Players will need to move their troops and units around in order to combine them for attacking, defending, and to activate abilities. The Definitive Edition includes multiplayer for both local and online play, and it also includes the I Am a Boss DLC that allows you to play as the game's villains. It's on sale at a brand new low price at $9.89. The fantastic Park Sim Jurassic World Evolution is one of the best games ever to feature the Jurassic Park license. It's also one of the best park and management sim games around. Build parks on multiple islands, research and discover new dinosaurs, and somehow make money at the same time. That's the whole point of this game, and it's really good and addictive. The Complete Edition includes a lot of content, all the updates and DLC that add a lot of new stuff to play with, including loads of new dinosaurs and additions, and the ability to freely create a park at will beyond the main mode. If you like park sims and management sims and dinosaurs, then there is no reason not to pick this game up. It's on sale at a brand new low price of $5.99. That is a steal. Panzer Paladin's gameplay takes a little bit from a bunch of different games. Includes mechanics from Mega Man with its level choosing and boss structure. It's got elements from DuckTales with some of the gameplay, and it even includes elements from the Castlevania series and the Blaster Master series. The gameplay has a lot of inspiration from a ton of sources, but it combines it all together in a fun experience that is a blast to play. It's a good 2D action game, and one that's worth playing, and a bit of a challenge too. It's back on sale for $7.99, which is the lowest price it's ever been in over a year and a half. Gravity Circuit's gameplay features elements from many classic games like Ninja Gaiden, Bionic Commando, Mega Man, and even to a degree, classic beat-em-up games. Yeah, it's a crazy mix for sure, but the gameplay is fast and very fluid, and it gives you plenty of options for taking down foes. It's a really cool action platformer that is just fantastic from start to finish, throughout all its stages. It's an excellent game. It's on sale for a brand new low price of $13.19 until January 4th. Combining elements of the Metal Slug series and the Contra games, Blazing Chrome is a lot of fun. It's a blast to play through with its non-stop action and epic boss battles, and it even has multiplayer co-op support, like all good run-and-gun games should have. Do you love run-and-gun games? Really love them? Then you gotta check this out. It is a must-get. It's on sale for $5.09, which is a brand new low price for it on the eShop. Chasm is an action platformer, and a Metroidvania one at that, where you're tasked with exploring a mine to discover why the townspeople nearby have all disappeared. The gameplay is inspired by Castlevania Symphony of the Night with similar combat mechanics. The layout of the world map is unique each time you play. I liked it when I played it many years ago, and it's super cheap to get right now. It's just $3.99 from the eShop sale. Pizza Tower is an absolutely crazy, over-the-top game with a cartoon art style to match. It has gameplay that takes inspiration from various platformers from the 90s, particularly the Wario Land games. I haven't yet personally played the game, but from what I can tell from critic reviews and word of mouth, this game is considered by many to be one of the best indie games to arrive on Switch this year. It's on sale for the first time ever on the eShop for $14.99. The Rumblefish Plus is an updated version of the Japanese arcade fighting game from developer Dimps that includes new features like online multiplayer with rollback netcode and a full-fledged training mode with recording options. It's on sale for just $2.39 for the first time ever. That's super cheap for an arcade fighting game. Shinobi Nagrata is a ninja action game that is inspired by those classics that could be found on consoles and in arcades back in the day. And this one seems like a game that everyone is sleeping on. It's a hidden gem for sure. The gameplay is great. Players can use 7 different shinobi weapons to fight back the demons and enemies, and there's a lot of fun variety to the stages too. It's on sale for a brand new low price this holiday, $10.49 until January 9th. Retro City Rampage DX is what I'd imagine GTA would be, if it was on the NES. Featuring gameplay that is very much inspired by the earlier overhead-style GTA games, you're going to need to shoot, rob, and blast your way through the city to complete various missions. It is a treat of a game, filled with lots of humor and a ton of video game references too. At just $3.49, it's super cheap to get right now, and it's a great value. Shakedown Hawaii acts like a semi-sequel, taking the top-down gameplay to the 16-bit era. Featuring destructible environments, over 200 accessible buildings, and a much bigger map to explore, Shakedown Hawaii is a blast to play, and together with Retro City Rampage, is a fantastic 1-2 punch for the Switch. Both games are some of my favorite open-world indie games of all time. This is on sale for just $3.49 as well. Frogun is an old-school style 3D platformer where you play as Renata, a young adventurer who's on a quest to save her parents. Players will need to master the use of the Frogun, a frog-shaped gun, to not only attack enemies, but also to help Renata traverse the stages with the gun's super sticky tongue ability. I really like this one, even though at times the challenge can make me want to throw a controller out the window. But hey, I did say it was a old school style platformer. There's lots of collectibles to find and secrets to encourage replayability in this one. It's down to a new low price for the holiday. It's 50% off until January 6th. Alba, a wildlife adventure, is a chill and relaxing open world game where you explore an island while also trying to assist and save the wildlife on it. This game won a lot of praise for its message and gameplay. If you like the Pokemon Snap games, then you'll like this one, though instead of being tied to a route, you're given the ability to explore as you wish. It's on sale for a brand new low price of $3.99 this holiday season. If you're a fan of classic platformers, especially of the Donkey Kong Country game variety, and are looking for a solid platformer to get for the Switch, then you should check out Kaze and the Wild Masks. Its gameplay is similar to the DKC games, and it's a solid adventure as you play as Kaze and use their various mask powers throughout the 30+ levels within the game. It's on sale at a brand new low price in the eShop of just $3.99. Honestly, it's a no-brainer at that price for platformer fans. Teslagrad is a popular puzzle platformer where players control a young boy who uses magnetism and electromagnetic powers to explore a deserted tower that's full of traps and danger. It's a game that will test your reflexes as well as your brain power with its very tricky puzzles. And overall, it's a really good game. The original game is on Switch, but there is a remastered version, which was released late last year, that comes with upgraded visuals and quality of life changes. It's on sale for a brand new low price of just $1.99 on the eShop. Teslagrad 2 was also released last year, and the gameplay expands further with the electromagnetism powers that were introduced in the first one, as well as it incorporates elements of Metroidvania games. In this game, you play as Lumina, who must use her electric magnetism powers as a Teslamancer to try to return home. As she journeys on her adventure, she'll gain upgrades to her powers, take on bosses, and of course, solve many puzzles. Teslagrad 2 is a pretty solid game too, and super cheap. It's just $1.99, like the first game. Golf Story is a much-loved indie game that combines adventure story and RPG elements with the gameplay of golf. It's similar in a lot of ways to the Game Boy Color version of Mario Golf, both in concept and gameplay. It won a lot of praise for its characters, story, and overall gameplay. It's pretty good. At $2.99, that's a steal for one of Switch's best indie games. All You Need Is Help is a relatively new game from the same developers of the Pixel Junk Monster series. It's a multiplayer-only game where you play as cube-shaped creatures and must work together to solve puzzles. This one seems like a lot of fun, and the game supports local and online play. The developers behind the Pixel Junk Monsters games have been known for making some solid games, and this one seems like another quality game by them. It's on sale for $13.99 for the first time ever on the eShop. One of my favorite racing games for the system, Grid Autosport, is on sale for $19.99. This is the first time it's been that cheap in a long time. Faro Interactive, the developers of the game, did a wonderful job making it run like a dream on the system, with different graphics modes, including an option for 60 FPS, while also providing a lot of neat options for Switch owners to tailor the experience to their needs. I consider this one to be one of the very best racing games you can get on the system. New Super Lucky's Tale is a good 3D platformer, and it's honestly one of the better ones on the system. Lucky has a variety of moves up his sleeve for players to use. There's lots of secrets and collectibles to find, as well as many challenges, puzzles, and mini-games to try to beat and complete. It's a joy to play, and if you love 3D platformers, especially from the PS2 or GameCube era, then you should definitely give this a go. It's on sale for the lowest price it's ever been on the eShop at $5.99. Bakaru is another good 3D platformer, and this one is developed by Goodfeel. Yes, that Goodfeel have developed and worked on several games for Nintendo. This game is a spiritual successor to Konami's Goemon series that has you on a quest to save Japan from the crazy festival troops that have it under its control. You need to use Bakaru's drumming powers and magical transforming abilities to explore all the stages, find all the collectibles, and more importantly, to teach the bad guys a lesson. This game is fun as heck. It's a quality, Nintendo-like platformer for the system. Go check out the demo, it'll give you a good taste on what this game is about. It's on sale for the first time ever for $27.99 on the eShop. Megaton Musashi W Wired is a hidden gem of a game from Level 5. It's an action RPG where you pilot giant mechs to battle against kaiju-like monsters. The gameplay in this one looks amazing, it's fast and fluid. The game features a ton of classic legendary robots from anime history, like Mazinger Z, Getter Robo, and Votez V, and you'll be able to collect their mechs and use parts to customize your own mech. Oh, and there's multiplayer too, through local play and up to 6 players through online play. The sale that it had months ago is finally back. It's on sale for $24.99, while the deluxe edition, which includes extra content to customize your mech and a digital art book, is on sale for $34.99. While I don't know too much about Cardfight Vanguard Deer Days, I haven't played it myself personally, but judging by the user reviews in places like Steam and such, this seems to be a pretty popular anime-style card game. So I figured to give it a shout out here, since there might be someone out there watching that might have this game on their wish list. It's currently on sale on the eShop for 50% off for the first time ever at $34.99. Oh, and there is a demo on the eShop too. Feel free to check that out.